And welcome back to The Angry Teacher. I'm Richard Williams, The Angry Teacher, and today we're going to talk about social and emotional learning and some activities you can do to help your kids out. Hang around. We're going to learn today. It's crazy this year, 2020. And we've probably done it before, but we just never really paid much attention to it as much as we should have. But 2020 has sparked so much conversation and debate about social and emotional learning for our students. Everyone's going through something. This pandemic has affected every child or every teacher, even because if your parents haven't lost their jobs or lost hours at their jobs, they've changed things in the house. You can't go out as often. You can't go out without getting your mask situation situated. But regardless, here are some tips you can kind of use in your classroom to kind of help with the social and emotional needs of your children. 3 categories that you can use to enhance your classroom instruction, and it will kind of help your kids in the process. First category, the openers when you start your class. You can do one of 3 things, or you can do all 3. Name that emotion. You have and I'm sure you've seen these, how are you feeling today, posters or signage made up, and you can post them in your class. I'll have a link down below if you need to know what that is. It has little emojis and it shows how the different facial expressions and how people are feeling. You can have your kids come in, they can either write to one of those emotions that they're feeling today, or they can just touch it and then you guys have a discussion. Or you post it, or you have it on your PowerPoint or your presentation, however you show it in your class, show the lesson, have it, that's the first thing that they see, and then you have a short discussion about how people are feeling today and what they can do to get over that hump so they can focus on the lesson. So that's one, name that emotion. Number 2, for openers, write it down, crumple it up, throw it away on a sheet of paper or on some card or whatever you have. Have the kids write how they're feeling, why they're feeling that way, what's the problem, and then you kind of share out, kind of talk about it if they're open to that, and then afterwards they can crumple that up and throw it in the trash or throw it in the center of the room. Everybody just looks at the trash piling up and how they don't need that in the space right now, or rip it up and have them make a big deal out of it. Be histrionic, go overboard, let them see that, hey, we don't need this emotion right now. We're better than this emotion. We can get over it, unless it's a happy one. But for the negative ones, rip them up, throw them away. Come on. Today we're gonna learn and we're gonna have fun doing it. So don't worry about whatever's bothering you today. We'll deal with that on another day. And lastly, for the openers, fixed versus growth mindset. What are your fixed mindsets? Let's name them out, or let's write them down. You're at the board or someone's at the board, making a list of all the fixed mindsets. How can we move beyond that to a growth mindset? What have we done last week that was kind of stagnant, that didn't help us in any way? And then how do we move forward and grow from that? How do we become better with our emotional attack of those fixed mindsets? How do we move forward with those academic and social attacks on those things that kept us back last week? This week, no, we're not having that foolishness. We're moving on. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for the next Angry Teacher video, because you know it's gonna be dope, man. Do it. 2, group sharing, and this can be done, in the center of the center. In the middle, center, it sounds better when I say middle, right? In the middle of your lesson, you kind of stop what you're doing and just kind of throw it in. Or it could be a part of your lesson. So circle sharing. You put the groups and the class in a circle or in groups and have them look at each other and kind of share out. I was ticked off when, especially last week, grades were due. I was ticked off when I got this F in math. What can I do? And then you have them talk to each other, just share out. So you know that there's someone there, that there's group sharing coming, that we're going to be talking about stuff, so I better get my act together, or I can share it with my people because I have nobody else to talk to. All right, so that's one thing you can do, talking out in a circle or a group. Let's see. Play interest and identity bingo, where you know what bingo looks like, and then on the different blocks or the different sections on the squares on a bingo card, you have the different interests and have the different identity part, things that they can associate with, the different emotions, and have them play bingo out loud, and then maybe discuss it afterwards, or while they're in their groups talking about it. You can while they're playing, they can talk about the emotions that they're feeling and why they're feeling this way, and if it's valid, or can we work with that emotion today. All right. And you know, I'm a big fan of number 3 for the group sharing section for the middle or the center of your class. Discussions. Have open discussions. Talk about stuff. If they don't feel comfortable talking with the whole class, or to the whole class, or to a group of kids, take them out. Take them out. You sit in the back with that kid and talk to them. You take them out and talk to them. Or you have peer counselors in your room talking to them. But if that doesn't work, just have a time where, okay, we're going to chill from the classwork for now. We're going to talk about what's going on. You're nervous about the pandemic. You're nervous about the riots going on in the country. You're nervous about your grades. You're nervous about your mom who, you know, doesn't have her job anymore. What can we do? Let's talk. Talk. And the last category for social and emotional learning, number 3. The 3 A's. Now, everybody knows Pops is a huge fan of appreciation, a huge fan of gratitude. I love when kids are gracious and they're grateful for what they've been given. No matter how hard things seem, you don't need to be a jerk or mean about it. Okay? So with that said, the 3 A's, appreciation, apologies, or ahas. Now these, and once again, I'll give you a link down below in the description for how to navigate these things or to find these things after you've gone through the lesson. Now, you may not use all of these all the time in one lesson or every day, because it will become monotonous and trite, and the kids will not be as honest and open as they would be as it is like an every Friday kind of thing, or every other week, or you just sporadically do it. If they know that it's coming, they're going to try to start making stuff up just to assuage you and make you feel good about, you know, you're the greatest teacher ever, right? So we don't want to overuse it. But so you don't want to do an opener with social emotional, then you do in the middle of class, and then you do one at the end. Kind of temper it and see how the kids are, and kind of infuse it wherever you feel necessary. But with that said, with the 3 A's, you can they need to identify an appreciation. This can just be sharing out, no writing down, because, or if you want them to write down and give them a grade for it, that's fine, but then it's going to become an assignment, and they're not going to be as honest with it necessarily, although some won't want to share out. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do, because kids are just like that. You got to go with the flow, right? So you can have them share out one thing they appreciate this week, or one thing they appreciate today or in class, one thing that they have an apology for, something that they did that they're not even cognizant of, or when you realize it, then you know you realize that you had to apologize for something, and it might not even be a big thing. It could just be I didn't answer a question when I knew the answer, or I kind of gave Johnny an evil look when he didn't even do anything to deserve it. Stuff like that. Or an aha. During class today, I remembered the thing from last class, and it made me feel like I was learning something. Simply put. So it makes them, and then you ham it up. You beat, once again, history on it. Make them feel, oh my God, you're doing such a good job. You remember that, because you know what? Some of the other kids didn't. You are on point. And you know you're gonna see that smile, you're gonna see that shine, and they're ready for the next class. All right, so you're setting it up for another teacher. They're having a good time, because your class kind of set the precedent for how that kid is feeling today. And you know, it just occurred to me while I was looking at my list. We can have appreciation, apologies, and ahas, but we can always do anxieties as well. So maybe it's the 4 A's, I don't know. But if they're anxious about something, maybe at the end would be a problem with that one for anxieties, because now they're going to be thinking about that, especially if it's at the end of the day and they're moving on to go home without you, and they have those anxieties. So that might be a problem, but you can infuse that somewhere, or change the order and put the 3 A's in the beginning of class. It's up to you. I just want you to pay attention to your kids' social and emotional learning. Thanks for coming back to class today. As usual, just go out there and be great. Hey, let's just go teach.